Hello guys, welcome to Photographics Academy. Hope you are having a wonderful new year. All right, so I want to take out this opportunity and welcome you to our basic photo retouching course. Everything you need to know in your retouching journey, even if you are just starting for the first time. After going through this course, we are going to bring you up to speed and you'll be able to do a full photo retouching in no distant time. All you need to do is to give yourself and be dedicated to learning, and you are going to grab as much as you can. So without wasting your time, let's quickly jump into the first thing we have. So we'll be working with modules by modules, so we can be able to systematically build everything we need to teach you and be able to bring it step by step so you don't get confused. So the first thing we're going to be looking at, so I'm just going to open this up. All right, so we are working with modules, and the first thing in our module 1 is introduction to Photoshop and retouching tool, and that is what we're going to be looking at in this video. So I'm just going to quickly jump into Photoshop and show you how that works. All right, so let's say that this is your first time of being in Photoshop. So I'm going to shut this down. Yeah, I'm going to shut this down. Okay, just hold on. All right, so let's say that this is your first time of being in Photoshop. Excuse me, let me be sure we are good. All right, so the first thing you need to do is, of course, to open your Photoshop. That will be the very first thing you need to do. So I believe by now you are conversant with your system, your Windows, and all of that. So if you come down here, of course, we should have it pinned to this place, or you can also, I think you should also have it in your home screen. You can find it somewhere around here, but to make it easy for you, we have our own pin here. So as well, pin your own here so you don't get confused looking for it. So the first thing you need to do is just to double click on your Photoshop and wait for it to load up. So this is the first thing you need to do when you get into your Photoshop. Double click on the logo icon over here and allow it to load up. So when your Photoshop opens up, if you've been working with it, you're going to see your jobs in the recent. If you've not been working with it, it's going to be empty. So let me see if I can just clear this out. All right, so let me go to my file. Just hang on a little. Clear recently. Okay, so you notice that the moment I did clear, everything left my screen. So if this is your first time of opening Photoshop, this is what it is going to look like. It's going to tell you with all this hiding. Let me take all of this out. Yeah, this is exactly what it's going to tell you. So it will tell you drag and drop a file. So that brings us to the next thing we are going to be looking at. Remember, in our module says the first thing we need to do is overview of Photoshop capabilities, setting up your workspace, and navigating panels and tools. That is what we are going to be doing. So setting up your workspace, the first thing you need to do to be able to set that up is to actually bring in an image and be able to now change the look of your window exactly the way you want it. So there are two ways you can bring in images into Photoshop. You can either go to File, go to New, then locate your image. Sorry, that's not for you. Go to File, go to Open, then locate exactly the folder where your image is. Click on it and it will go to open. It's going to open for you. Of course, I don't want to work on this image, that's why I didn't select that. Or you can minimize the same Photoshop, go straight to the folder where where the image you are trying to edit is, which my own, this is where it is. I want to work on this one. This is the one we're going to be using in this video. So I'm just going to drag it, just like I said, drag and drop. So if you look at it, it said drag and drop a file. So we are going to drag, still holding down your cursor, bring it straight to the middle over here, or anywhere around here should pretty work. Then come to the middle and leave your cursor. So that is going to help you drop the file inside Photoshop. And if it's a raw file, which we are going to be looking at later, so you will understand exactly the difference between RAW and JPEG. If it's a RAW file, you are going to see it open up in what we call Camera Raw. Of course, we're still going to get to that later in the course of the tutorial. Even if it's not in the basic, you're going to get it in the advanced, and trust me, it's also free of charge. So I anticipate that. Let's get back to what we're talking about. So it's going to open up in Camera Raw if you are shooting RAW. If you are shooting JPEG, it's just going to open up straight up in your Photoshop. So once it's done, press OK, and it's going to open up right there in your Photoshop, just the way you are going to use it. And go okay one more time, and we have our image. So this is what your workstation is going to look like, or your workspace rather. So everything you are looking at right now in front of my screen is called your workspace. That brings us to the next thing we are going to be looking at: setting up your workspace. Everything that you are looking at right here in your screen is called a workspace. The toolbar, this particular place, all these areas, everything is called your workspace. Now, how do you play around this workspace in case you come in? Because I think he's assuming the workspace I used the last time, that is why it looks arranged. So I'm just going to intentionally mess the whole thing up, something like this, so that I can show you one or two ways to fix that. Or rather, let's just hide it all. Let's just delete all of them and bring it all in manually. Can as well bring out the layer, delete it, bring out the channel, delete it, bring out the parts, and delete it. So let's say you came into your Photoshop and this is what you are seeing right here in your Photoshop. Everywhere is empty. You are not even seeing what you are doing. You don't know your left and your right. So the first thing you need to do is to set up your workspace. Bring the things you need to work with in. Like I said, bring the things you need to work with in. You don't need to bring in everything, because you may not be needing all of them, and it will end up clustering all your screen, and you won't be able to navigate through it effectively. So I would advise you bring in what you need. Now, as a beginner, this is your first time in Photoshop. What do you need on your screen to be able to start working effectively, at least for a start? The first major thing you need, very, very important, is your layer. You need your layers to load up, because that is where you are going to be working. We're going to be showing you exactly what a layer is, but in this video I'm just showing you how to bring in a layer. So in subsequent videos, I guess it should be the next one, we're going to be looking in depth into what a layer does. Now, how do you bring in your layer? You just go into your windows over here. So everything you are looking at, just from here all the way down to this place, are everything that comes up on your screen. So just imagine that you have all of this on your screen. You are going to end up making it look like maybe a marketplace or something. So the first thing you'll need, very, very important, every other thing you can bring in when you need them, is a layer. So this is our layer right here. So if you just come into your window, navigate to your window, come all the way to layers and click on it, it's going to load up your layer. This is what a layer looks like. So where do you place it? You can decide to place it anywhere you feel it's going to help you work, but me, I prefer keeping it just at the down part of my right here, because of course if we reset, this is where Photoshop might probably place it or somewhere. So we'll have our layer. Now if you look at that layer, if you look at this layer, you're going to notice that our object has its own layer. So this is where anything you are doing in Photoshop is going to be affecting. This right here, this is called your layer. This thing I'm trying to drag around is called your layer. Without this thing, you are not going to be able to do anything in Photoshop. And of course, it also helps you to do some works undestructively. I'm going to show you that much more later. The next thing you need to load up in your screen is your history. Your history. Come over here, go to your history, click on your history. So you will notice that the history came in with other three groups. So the reason the three of them showed up at the same time is because these are the three things that works hand in hand, especially the history and the action. I don't really think you need the comment. I've not actually used that before, but if you go online, you can see what other persons are saying about their own Photoshop and see exactly how you can inculcate their suggestions and ideas into your workflow. I guess if you connect it to your Behance and all of that, if you your client can be able to view exactly what you are doing on your screen and be able to comment straight on the